You apply for a job. Your resume is strong. Your experience matches every requirement. You never hear back. No rejection email. No explanation. Just silence. Weeks later, you find out the position was filled. What you do not find out is that an AI background check system scanned your digital footprint, flagged something in your history, and removed your application before a human ever read your name. You were not rejected by a person. You were filtered out by a machine. Right now, companies are using AI-powered screening tools to evaluate job applicants, potential tenants, insurance customers, and loan candidates. These systems scan public records, social media activity, data broker profiles, and online behavior to generate a risk assessment. The decision can happen in seconds. And in most cases, the person being screened has no idea what data was used, what was flagged, or that an algorithm made the call. Most people have already been through this process without realizing it. This is the AI background check trap. The first layer is how the scan works. Traditional background checks looked at criminal records and employment history. AI-powered systems go much further. They can scan your social media posts going back years. They can pull data from broker databases that track your address history, your estimated income, your purchasing patterns, and your online associations. They can analyze the tone of your public comments, the content of your photos, and even the groups you follow. All of this happens without a direct conversation, without an interview, and often without your explicit knowledge. The result is a risk profile generated entirely from data you may not even remember creating. A single post from 5 years ago, a photo from a college party, a review you left on a public forum, any of these can become a data point in a system that has no ability to ask you what it means. This is where the structure fails in a specific way. AI systems process data, but they do not understand context. A sarcastic comment is read as a sincere statement. A legal dispute that was dismissed still appears as a flag. A neighborhood you once lived in gets associated with a risk category. The system takes fragments of your life and compresses them into a flat score. It cannot distinguish between a mistake and a pattern, between a joke and a threat, between who you were 10 years ago and who you are today. Context is the first thing humans use when making judgments, and it is the first thing these systems lose. The result is a profile that may look nothing like the person it claims to describe, but the decision has already been made based on that profile. The third layer is what happens after the screening. When a person rejects you, you can ask why. You can provide context, share your side, or correct a misunderstanding. When an AI screening tool filters you out, there is often no explanation and no appeal. The rejection arrives as silence, or as a generic message that offers no specifics. You do not know what was flagged. You do not know which data source was used. And because you do not know what caused the rejection, you cannot fix it for the next application. The system acts as gatekeeper, judge, and final decision, all before a human enters the process. In many cases, the employer or landlord using the tool may not even know exactly why the AI flagged a particular applicant. They see a score, they trust the score, and the person behind the score never gets a chance to speak. Not every AI screening tool operates without oversight. Some companies use these systems responsibly, with human review built into the process. Background checks serve a legitimate purpose, and many protect organizations from genuine risk. But when the screening is fully automated, when there is no transparency about what data was used, and when there is no way for the person to see or challenge the result, the structure creates an imbalance worth understanding. So what can you do? First, audit your digital presence, search your own name, review your public social media posts, old forum comments, and any content tied to your real identity. Second, request your data. In the United States, the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives you the right to see any consumer report, used in a hiring or housing decision. If you were denied, you can ask which screening company was used and request a copy of the report. Third, challenge errors. If you find inaccurate information in a background check report, you have the legal right to dispute it. The most difficult rejection is the one that never explains itself, not because the answer would hurt, but because the silence removes your ability to respond. The algorithm does not know your story, but right now, it does not have to. In a world where machines make the first judgment, the most important thing you can protect is your right to be seen as more than a data point. If this changed how you think about background checks, subscribe to Mind Rigged. This is Mind Rigged. See the system break the loop.